Did you know that the tradition of student apprentices studying technique and theory under the guidance of master artists is older than the Renaissance? Do you wish you could experience what that was like to sit in a studio surrounded by art students at every level of expertise and listen to their work as it was being critiqued and guided by masters of their craft? Now imagine you can get that experience every month simply by becoming a Barnstone Patreon supporter. My name is Kat Barnstone Safran, daughter of master artist and educator Myron Barnstone, who for over 35 years instructed thousands of aspiring artists of every age and artistic background. We're carrying on his legacy of classical atelier-style art education through our Master Guide program, and you're invited. Become a Patreon supporter at the $25 or higher level, and you'll have access to the full mentoring sessions between Barnstone students and their chosen master guides. Here's just a short sample of a full-length sessions that you can enjoy every month.
Yeah, I had a feeling you'd say something about the ellipses on the truncation because they looked a bit wonky to me too down at the bottom. Like something wasn't quite right.
And just like throughout, they're not as evenly drawn as you've been doing. Like on the horizontal ellipse on your main template is like perfect. Like that is really well done. But then in the truncation, they're like a little bit wobbly looking at certain parts. And then you want to be careful when you do when you add the line for the thickness. Ideally, you should actually be plotting that as well. If it's really thin, then you can just kind of run it parallel to the other. But if you're making it with a little more substantial thickness as you have, that should really be plotted on the template as well, because you've got places where it seems to be getting thicker and thinner.
Yeah. The line isn't even.
Right.
Okay.
Be careful at the left-hand side, the second one up from the bottom. Something's off there where it's like wider at the bottom than it is at the top, and yeah. So the lines for the top of that band should come out farther than the line at the bottom. So it looks as though it's sort of a curved bulge on there.
Yeah, I was a bit confused as to like what this would actually look like in real life. Like at what point would the thickness be wider and where it would be thinner?
Right. I mean, you have the right general idea that it's gonna look wider at the ends and narrower in the middles because of the perspective. But yeah, I would say plot that on the template diagram and do that as well. I have a grid set up to do a demonstration of drawing the ellipse, just in case that's helpful. Because I mean, it seems like you basically like I said, your template looks excellent, but then in the truncation for some reason they're getting a little bit a little wobbly. So
yeah.
If it would it be helpful to just watch me draw one?
Sure. Yeah.
So let's say we start here. You want to make sure again you're always just basically drawing this motion.
Do you always go upwards or like can you go upwards and downwards?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. But you can go either up or down. That's not that is not that important. You can do either way. Yeah, for some reason, I guess I do tend to, when I do it on the template, I do tend to go upwards, I guess. I'm not sure. Let's see. But yeah, let's see. So you want to start out really lightly.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not committing to anything yet. So let's say we're starting at this point, heading toward this one, and then turn it a little bit and go back. And we got to go up a little bit more. So this is why you keep it really light. Make sure you mark. Keep it really light to start with, so that you don't going off camera, so that you don't commit to it too soon and end up having to erase. So I'm going to come at it now. This is the hardest part to get right. So I'm going to come at that from both directions now. Keep it on the camera.
Is it easier to draw it horizontal?
You mean the drawing surface horizontal, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean mine's on a little bit of an adjustable drafting table that's slightly inclined, but it's fairly close to horizontal. So that I would say yes, that horizontal is easier for this. But yeah, the most important thing is just that you're making the most natural movement for your wrist, so you don't, when you try to go too far in either direction, that's where it starts getting wobbly. And you want to think about, so if I'm coming from here to here, but then you're always thinking ahead to where the next point is, so you get the right trajectory on the arc. So then here, so we're going from here to here, and then that kind of keeps going up like that. But then in the meantime, we've got this side to keep track of. So now we've got to bridge this gap. So now I'm starting to get into a bad position there, so I've got to turn it again. Too many lines, so sometimes you are going to have to erase.
Join us in keeping Myron's legacy alive. Join the Barnstone Patreon today. Follow the link embedded below, and you'll get full-length lessons just like these, plus much, much more every month. You'll learn a new, fresh perspective, insight, and technique with every session. We really can't wait to see you there. As Myron would always say, thank you and be well.